I am dburger62, and this is going to be a mini review of the McBryde Residence Hall at the University of South Carolina. Right now it is finals week at the university and everybody is moving out. As you can see, my roommate has already moved out, and today is Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017. McBryde is nicknamed the Carolina Men's Community because it is the all-men's dorm on the campus. This is essentially the residence hall you get if you're a male and you wait until the very last minute to get all your housing stuff done like I did. And being that it is the men's dorm on campus, it's not in the greatest condition. It used to be a fraternity house. Now you may have heard in the background already in this video a noise, and that's one of the quirks of McBryde. There are random noises that keep you up at night. In my room in particular, there were very large amounts of black mold, and it was in the closets, it was on the backs of the desks. I had to move my desks. I didn't actually know it was there until I moved them, and it was on my bed frame, basically in a bunch of places in the room. Credit to housing for cleaning it up for me without any problems. They were happy to clean it up, but it was still a large amount of black mold in my dorm room. During my freshman year at USC, I actually had two roommates. The first roommate I had actually got here first on move-in day, and he had a piece of carpet essentially all around the room. It was a blue piece of carpet. He moved out and took his carpet with him, and this is what you usually get. And upon removal, I find all this hair everywhere. This is definitely not mine. McBryde is also just old in general, being built or having been built in 1955. However, a nice little market down here with a lot of nice stuff in here that you won't find in the bookstore, for example. will also normally dump your trash in trash cans in the bathroom and not in a dumpster, except for when it is late in the year, but people still do it anyway. You will have a washer and dryer on each floor in the bathroom. Actually, 2 of these, one on each end of the hallway. One convenience is that every room in McBryde has a mini fridge and a microwave. It's like a 2-in-1 setup. Don't worry, this is just ketchup. Only problem is there is a lot of water, and I had bags of cheese in here and water got in them, and I could no longer eat them. We never actually used our freezer. These are actually just put in brand new over winter break this year. The microwave does have a power outlet and 2 USB ports. The old ones that were in here during the fall before they replaced them, you had 2 110 volt, I think they're 110 volt power outlets instead of the 1 outlet and the 1 pair of USB ports. Neither of my roommates nor did I ever actually use any of it or either of these, and we just used power strips that we bought or brought with us. For example, look at my ketchup that I just took out of the fridge here on my move out day, which isn't scheduled or anything, but it's just the most convenient for me. We have to be out by Thursday at 10. Everybody. As you can see, it's really loose, really watery, just from being in this refrigerator. You also get 1 overhead light, and you get another little light by your bed. I actually use mine quite a lot, so I didn't need a book light for readings. So that was a positive. You also get connection to the USB or USC Ethernet, and that it actually works well and works better than the Wi-Fi for me. You more than likely will be sent via email an evaluation to fill out on your experience with the Wi-Fi, or both the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet. I was sent one at the end of first semester. I haven't received another one. There's also an outlet for TV, etc. We do have air conditioning in here, but it wasn't all smooth sailing for a while. My AC did not work, and I only had heat, and that was in the beginning of the year, so it was pretty bad, but now it works. Each room does come with a desk and a set of drawers. There are 2 closets 2 beds, of course. There, of course, is plenty of underbed storage space for drawers, crates, whatever. Forgot to mention that you do get a desk chair. Originally, both the chairs in here were red, like mine here, but my roommate who moved out took his with him, and I just got another free chair. And I do have towels over these because I don't know who sat on this or who's done what on this. Drawer space. One very peculiar thing is that there is quote unquote storage up here, but as you might be able to see here, there is no shelf. Now, my family and I discovered this on move-in day, and when we went to ask if we could put a board in to use as a shelf, we were told it was a fire hazard, so essentially it's useless storage unless you need to store something very tall. There are smoke detectors and etc. I honestly do not know if they even work. I am not a smoke detector expert, but they are there. And all the times somebody set the fire alarm, I've been able to hear it. Another convenience is that it is very, very, very close to the Bull Street parking garage. And it is very close to Russell House, which is about maybe a 1 minute, 2 minute walk up that way. You can see that the window's a little dirty here. They also, well, mine at least, and a lot of others, as you might have seen when I walked outside, they don't hold themselves up anymore. Another positive for some people is that McBryde has the visitation policy where a guest can stay for, I think it is 3 nights, whereas in other residence halls they have to leave at like 2:30 in the morning or something like that. There's other policies for visitors, but we have one of the most, or McBryde has one of the most lenient. There are also lounge areas at the bottom of some of the buildings. They have television, chairs. You can hang out there. The management hosts events down there sometimes, which you are notified of them through your school email, so that's okay. This is one of the lounge rooms downstairs. You'll probably have your McBryde orientation in one of these. As you can see, there is TV and air conditioning, but there's still a lot to be desired. So now it is the day after move out day. Everyone had to be out by 10 a.m. this morning, and I'm officially done living in McBryde for my freshman year. When I first got there, on moving day, I looked at the place and I immediately wanted to not live there because I actually live in Columbia and could have easily lived at home, and I thought that was a uh, better way to do things. But I ended up living at McBryde, and my homies and I basically took it as, or handled it as, making the best out of a bad situation. Not necessarily bad, it certainly could have been worse, but not an ideal situation. I do feel that it does need to be torn down, but if the replacement is another all men's dorm, then it'll just be in the same shape before long. So I guess that's kind of a trade off. And they did just build a new health center like a stone's throw from it. So I would say that it is certainly that I guess it's tolerable, but nowhere near ideal. And I would say that it's definitely the worst dorm on campus, but it's still livable. If I had the choice of living at home versus living in McBryde, again, I actually would live in McBryde. I thought that it would be, well, before I started attending, I thought it would be easier to keep concentration at home, whereas now it seems that it would be easier to keep concentration there, and and you can still go to the library. It also depends on how much you can tolerate. If you think that the shower floors, the bathroom floors, the toilets, the rest of the place is tolerable, then you might be able to live 2 semesters there. If not, then you may want to try to find other accommodations. But for me, it could have been worse. It wasn't ideal, but I got through it, and McBryde is not the best, but there are worse places.